Video games are amazing. They can be fun, they can be challenging, they can let you bring your greatest ideas to life, and some of them can do all three at once. They can drop your jaw with impossible sights and structures, they can make you feel like a superhuman, and with their ability to completely immerse you into their world, who wouldn't want to play them? However, can we gain anything from playing them that can transfer to the real world? Over the course of this semester, I've actually found that we can. Christopher Ferguson is an author who's written many different articles and even some academic journals about the effects, the good and the bad, of playing video games. I wrote 3 papers in response to his work, and while I was researching the issue to form my own argument, I found a ton of other interesting information on the topic. I firmly believe that video games can have a positive impact on a person's life, and I'd like to try to explain how they do it using the sources that I found during the semester. My favorite source of gaming info that I came across was a book called Glued to Games by Richard Ryan and Scott Rigby. The book focuses on the science behind people's love for gaming and the specific psychological needs that video games fulfill to keep people coming back. They came up with a useful acronym to help explain their findings that's simply C, A, and R, or CAR. The C in their CAR acronym stands for competence. They describe competence as the sensation that you're learning, improving, progressing, or mastering something. It's a key component in a lot of games, but for this example, I'd like to use Dark Souls 3. The Dark Souls series is notorious for being obnoxiously difficult, and Dark Souls 3 is no different. Every enemy in the game is tailor-made to make your life suck as much as possible, starting with the first boss who explodes into a writhing mass of black tentacly bullshit once you're halfway through beating him. Oddly, the difficulty isn't a deterrent to most people. In fact, Dark Souls 3 sold 3 million copies in the first month of its international release. People were so excited to sit down and prove that they were good enough to beat the game. They were chasing that feeling of competence and mastery. Multiplayer games caught on to this competent sensation as well fairly recently, and many of them have implemented ranking systems to give people the desire to improve. The ranking systems evaluate your performance and place you in a certain skill tier where you then battle it out with other people who suck just as much as you do to prove that you're just a little better. I've heard people out in public poke fun at their friends for being in low skill tiers in video games, and I think that that's downright amazing. People are becoming invested enough in their virtual rank in a virtual game to boast about it in real life. It proves to me that people really do need to feel like they're good at something. And for many people, finding competency through video games is an easy way to satisfy that need. Now, let's go to the A in the CAR acronym. The A stands for autonomy. This is the feeling that your choices matter, and that they have a significant impact on the world around you. I feel that this category works really well with most gamers because people who do play a lot of video games tend to be more introverted and as a result may not ever voice their opinions or feel all that important. The game that's perfected using this feeling of having your choices matter, in my opinion, is The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. The game's creators, CD Projekt Red, took 2.5 freaking years to record all of the dialogue for the game because there are so many different ways that you can affect the outcome of the story. You're constantly faced with choices that will lead you down certain paths, sort of like this.
You'd like a reward, I suppose.
You don't owe us anything. You were in need. We helped.
This game really makes you feel like your choices are important, impactful, and need to be thought out. However, some other games, we'll use Fallout 4 here, often just give you the illusion of choice. This guy is trying to get you to register for a program, and when you do, the entire story can begin. But here, if I tell him to
Go away.
they have your spouse get up and talk you into it anyways. The developers assume that you'll just say yes, but they leave the options there to make you feel like you have a choice. It gets the job done, and there are actually 4 different endings to the game.
I'll not drink with Weaver Lost freaks.
But if we go back to The Witcher 3, this game has 36 different endings, all based around your choices, and people love this game way more than Fallout 4, mainly because of that. It's important for people to feel like they matter, and games like these two do a good job of providing that for them in a way. The final component of CAR is the R, or relatedness. Think of this one as the feeling of being part of a team, or a part of a community. Multiplayer games are the best with this because your team is made up of people who obviously like the same game that you do, and you can all make jokes and rant about things specific to the game that other people who don't play it might not really understand. Relatedness is also especially present in multiplayer games because the people on your team genuinely appreciate when you do well. If you're playing Overwatch and you excel at your role, you'll often hear your teammates shouting, "Nice shot," or "Thank you so much, you totally saved me." It makes you feel appreciated and therefore makes you want to keep playing because let's be real, having strangers tell you that you did something well feels pretty damn good. In the same vein, sandbox games like Planet Coaster also have welcoming, encouraging communities of players built around them. If you work hard and make something cool, you can share it and receive feedback. Other players will be able to understand and appreciate how hard you work to make your project, whereas anyone who hasn't built anything in the game won't really get it. Games that have welcoming communities and friendly players can make new players feel comfortable and accepted. Being able to relate to everyone you play with is the main reason why multiplayer games appeal to so many people. It makes it really easy to find people that you have common interests with. So, to sum it all up, I learned a lot about the psychological benefits of one of my favorite hobbies thanks to the essays I was tasked to write this semester. I had a lot of fun, and thanks for watching.